The silver ships appeared above major cities without warning. Sleek and silent, they hovered like metallic clouds, casting long shadows over Earth's tallest buildings. News networks broadcast the same images worldwide. Humanity's first contact with extraterrestrial life. After 3 days of silence, the alien vessels opened, and smaller craft descended to land in a remote field outside of Seoul. World leaders hastily assembled a delegation, with Director Han Tao of the United Global Defense Council selected to lead the human representatives. Remember, Director Han told his team as they approached the landing site, show strength but not aggression. We represent all of Earth today. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Confederation. Their ambassador stood 2 meters tall with silvery skin that reflected the sunlight in rainbow patterns. 4 long fingers on each hand ended in sharp, crystalline tips. When it spoke, its voice sounded like multiple tones layered together. Your civilization has reached a sufficient level of development to be acknowledged, the ambassador stated through a translation device. But you remain primitive by our standards. We have cataloged over 3,000 species more advanced than yours. Director Han maintained a diplomatic smile. We welcome peaceful exchange with the Confederation. Earth has much to offer through mutual cooperation. The alien's face remained expressionless. Cooperation is not our purpose. We require access to certain minerals and biological specimens from your world. Your permission is preferred but optional. Whispers ran through the human delegation. Director Han stepped forward. With respect, Earth's resources belong to its people. Any arrangement would require fair negotiation and exchange. Negotiation. The alien made a clicking sound that the translation device didn't interpret. Your species has barely achieved basic interplanetary travel. You have no leverage from which to negotiate. The meeting continued for hours, growing increasingly tense. The Confederation presented terms that amounted to systematic resource extraction with minimal compensation. When Director Han firmly rejected these terms, the alien ambassador showed the first sign of emotion: impatience. We advise you not to mistake our civility for weakness, said Director Han. Humanity may appear less advanced, but we are resourceful and determined. We cannot accept these terms. The alien made that clicking sound again. Your threats are meaningless. We have monitored your military capabilities. You could not prevent our actions even if you dedicated all your weapon systems. As the delegation returned to their vehicles, Director Han received an urgent call from General Song at the hidden mountain pine facility. Did you see the scans we took during the meeting? Asked General Song. Not yet, replied Director Han. The meeting just concluded. Their technology is advanced, but not as advanced as they want us to believe. Their energy signatures suggest vulnerabilities. If Project Phoenix continues on schedule. Say no more, Director Han interrupted, glancing at the alien ships overhead. Continue as planned, but accelerate the timeline. The next day, the Confederation delivered their final terms, not a request but a declaration. They would begin extraction operations within 1 month. Earth could cooperate and receive limited technological knowledge in exchange, or resist and receive nothing while the extractions proceeded anyway. World leaders gathered in emergency session. Some advocated immediate surrender to the aliens' demands. Others called for military action, despite the apparent technological gap. Director Han addressed the assembly. We should appear to comply while buying time. The Confederation believes we are primitive because we've shown them only what's in plain sight. They don't know about Mountain Pine or the other facilities. They don't know about Project Phoenix. In the following weeks, landing zones were cleared for Confederation extraction teams. Equipment was set up according to alien specifications. Earth appeared to accept its role as just another conquered world. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Chief Engineer Kim worked day and night with his team, finalizing systems that would have seemed impossible 5 years earlier. In a hidden facility in the Antarctic, weapons specialist Dr. Joe tested targeting systems that could penetrate shields the Confederation believed impervious. When the first extraction ships landed and began operations, Earth's leaders maintained their facade of reluctant cooperation. Confederation supervisors reported to their command that the primitive humans were adapting to their new status just as predicted. They didn't notice the subtle scanning devices hidden among Earth's primitive monitoring equipment. They didn't detect the special materials being quietly stockpiled in preparation for the day humanity would reveal its true capabilities. The Confederation had made a critical mistake. They had judged Earth solely by what they could see, never imagining what secrets might lie hidden beneath the surface of this seemingly ordinary blue planet. 5 years passed under Confederation rule. The aliens had established 12 major extraction sites across Earth, each one surrounded by high-security perimeters. Massive ships regularly departed Earth's atmosphere, loaded with minerals, water, and biological samples. The once pristine regions now resembled open wounds on the planet's surface. At Extraction Site 7, in what was once a protected forest, Supervisor Kell of the Confederation surveyed operations with satisfaction. The humans provided labor as required. Though they worked slowly and without enthusiasm, Kell didn't care about their feelings. Only their compliance mattered. Increase extraction rate by 15%, Kell ordered his subordinate. Command believes these humans are becoming too comfortable. They need to understand their place. Meanwhile, in a bunker deep beneath Mount Hala, Commander Sue reviewed the final systems check on humanity's greatest secret. The room hummed with activity as engineers and technicians worked at various stations. Massive screens displayed complex equations and design schematics. Propulsion system is now operating at 118% of projected capacity, reported Chief Engineer Min, her face illuminated by the blue glow of her console. The new alloy performs better than we expected. Commander Sue nodded. And the shield configuration. Tests show it can withstand 3 times the energy output of Confederation weapons, answered Min. They won't know what hit them. For 5 years, the Phoenix Initiative had been humanity's best-kept secret. While appearing to submit to alien rule, Earth's greatest minds have been working underground, studying stolen alien technology and developing innovations the Confederation couldn't imagine. The massive ship, named HSS Vengeance, was nearly complete. Built in sections across 5 hidden facilities and assembled in an enormous cavern beneath the ocean floor, it represented hope for a planet growing desperate under alien control. Commander Sue left the control room and entered his private office where Director Han waited. The years had not been kind to the once vigorous diplomat. His hair had turned completely gray, and deep lines marked his face. The Security Council needs an update, said Director Han. Resources are running critically low in sectors 3 and 4. People are going hungry. The Vengeance will be ready in 3 weeks, replied Commander Sue. We just need a little more time. We may not have that time. The Confederation has increased quotas again. They're taking everything, Sue. Water, minerals, even air. Director Han's hands trembled slightly. And there's something else. They've started taking people. Commander Sue's head snapped up. What do you mean? Confederation transports have been seen loading groups of humans. Our intelligence suggests they're being taken for biological research. Director Han's voice cracked. Children, Sue. They're taking children. Commander Sue's jaw tightened. Then we move now. The Vengeance may not have all systems at full capacity, but it's ready to fly. We can't wait any longer. That evening, Earth's Security Council convened via Secure Channel. Representatives from regions worldwide reported similar conditions, increasing alien demands, dwindling resources, and now disappearing civilians. Security Chief Dong presented the latest intelligence. The Confederation believes we're beaten. Their security measures have relaxed as they've grown confident in their control. They've reduced the number of patrol ships in Earth orbit from 20 to just 7. Commander Sue outlined the plan. The Vengeance would launch during the next major extraction operation, when the largest Confederation ships would be present. The element of surprise would be crucial. We get one chance, Commander Sue emphasized. If we fail, they'll crush what remains of human resistance. The vote was unanimous. Operation Revelation would commence in 3 days. As the meeting concluded, Commander Sue and Chief Engineer Min walked through the massive chamber housing the Vengeance. The ship's hull gleamed with a dark metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Its design was unlike anything humans or aliens had built before, a hybrid of stolen technology and human innovation. "Do you think it will work?" asked Min quietly. "It has to," Commander Sue replied. 5 years of playing weak and submissive while they strip our planet. 5 years of watching them dismiss our warnings and ignore our attempts at diplomacy. They stood before the massive viewport, looking at the ship that carried humanity's hopes. "The Confederation believes they know humanity's capabilities," said Commander Sue. "They're about to learn how wrong they've been." Throughout the night, coded messages reached resistance cells worldwide. Equipment was moved into position. Key personnel took their assigned posts. Across Earth, humans prepared for the moment when they would finally show their true strength. The countdown to revelation had begun. The Confederation extraction fleet arrived in Earth's orbit on schedule. 7 massive ships positioned themselves above the planet, readying their transport systems to collect the annual tribute of minerals and biological specimens. Commander Tech of the lead vessel watched Earth's blue surface with bored disinterest. After 5 years, these operations had become routine. "Status report," Commander Tech demanded. "All collection sites report ready for extraction," responded his second-in-command. "Humans are assembled as ordered." Commander Tech made a dismissive gesture. "Begin the procedure. I want to complete this cycle quickly." Suddenly, alarms blared across the command center. Officers rushed to their stations, checking readings and shouting updates. Massive energy signature detected from Earth's southern ocean. Unknown object rising through the atmosphere. "Activate defensive systems," ordered Commander Tech, his previously calm demeanor shattered by the unexpected threat. On screens throughout the Confederation fleet, officers watched in stunned silence as something impossible emerged from Earth's atmosphere. What appeared at first to be a storm cloud rising from the ocean revealed itself as an enormous vessel, dwarfing even the largest Confederation ships. Its hull gleamed with a dark material that seemed to swallow light. The HSS Vengeance rose majestically through the clouds, water streaming from its massive form. 5 years of secret construction had produced a ship 3 times larger than the Confederation's command vessel. Its unique hull absorbed and redirected scanning beams, making it appear to shimmer slightly. Inside the Vengeance's command center, Commander Sue stood calmly, watching the Confederation ships on the main viewer. Around him, Earth's finest officers operated advanced control systems with practiced precision. "They're attempting to scan us," reported Sensor Chief Park. "Their beams can't penetrate our hull." "They're activating weapons systems," added Tactical Officer O. Commander Sue nodded. "Open a channel to all Confederation vessels." The communications officer complied, and Commander Sue's voice broadcast across all Confederation frequencies. "Attention Confederation Fleet. This is Commander Sue of the Earth vessel Vengeance. You were warned not to underestimate us." On the lead Confederation ship, Commander Tech stared at the human vessel with disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. "They don't have this technology." He composed himself and responded. "Unknown Earth vessel, power down immediately or face destruction. You cannot hope to challenge the Confederation's might." Commander Sue smiled slightly. "I believe a demonstration is in order." He nodded to Tactical Officer O, who pressed a sequence of commands. The Vengeance emitted a focused energy pulse that struck 3 Confederation ships simultaneously. Their weapons systems went dark instantly, though the vessels themselves remained undamaged. "What happened?" demanded Commander Tech as his officers frantically worked their controls. "Weapons systems are completely disabled," reported his tactical officer. "They didn't destroy us. They just neutralized us." Commander Sue's voice came through again. "This is merely a fraction of our capabilities. We have studied your technology while you dismissed our warnings. We could destroy your fleet, but that is not our purpose today." The Vengeance moved between the Confederation ships with surprising speed and agility for its size. Its massive engines glowed with a blue-white energy, unlike anything the aliens had seen before. "Your fleet is now free to retreat and report what you've witnessed," continued Commander Sue. "Tell your leaders that Earth will no longer submit to exploitation. We demand new terms based on mutual respect and equal exchange." Commander Tech stared at the screen, rage and fear battling in his expression. "This deception will not be forgotten. Humans. The Confederation does not negotiate with lesser species." "Then perhaps we are not a lesser species after all," replied Commander Sue. The Confederation vessels began to retreat, their perceived superiority shattered in moments. On Earth, people gathered around screens broadcasting the confrontation. Cheers erupted in cities and towns worldwide as they witnessed humanity's defiance after years of submission. In the Vengeance's command center, Chief Engineer Min approached Commander Sue. "They're heading back to their regional headquarters at high speed." "As expected," said Commander Sue. "Prepare for pursuit. We need to make sure our message reaches the highest levels of the Confederation." "Are we ready for what comes next?" asked Chief Engineer Min quietly. Commander Sue looked at the retreating alien ships on the viewer. "For 5 years, we appeared weak while building our strength. They never looked beneath the surface to see what we were capable of." He turned to face the bridge crew. "Set course to follow the Confederation fleet. It's time they listened to Earth." The massive engines of the Vengeance flared brighter as the ship accelerated, following the retreating aliens into deep space. Humanity's moment of revelation had arrived. The Vengeance followed the retreating Confederation fleet through the darkness of space. Commander Sue stood on the bridge, watching the stars streak by as the ship's revolutionary engines propelled them faster than any human vessel had traveled before. The crew worked with quiet efficiency, many still processing the reality that they had left Earth's orbit for the first time. "They've reached their destination," reported Navigator Jung. "Regional Headquarters Station orbiting the gas giant in Sector 7. The main screen displayed an enormous space station, a spinning wheel of metal and light orbiting a massive purple planet. Smaller ships moved around it like insects around a hive. This was the Confederation's center of power for this entire sector of space, containing thousands of aliens from dozens of worlds. "They're broadcasting alerts about our approach," said Communications Officer Ba. "Station defenses are activating." Commander Sue nodded. "Send the message we prepared." Throughout the station, screens flickered to life, displaying Commander Sue's face. The message played in multiple languages, including the Confederation's primary dialect. "I am Commander Sue of Earth. We come not for war, but for recognition. While you stripped our planet of resources, we studied your ways. While you dismissed our warnings, we prepared. While you thought us primitive, we innovated beyond your understanding." On the station, High Administrator Vol watched the transmission with growing alarm. How did they follow our ships here? How did they build a vessel of that size without detection? "Sensors indicate technology we've never encountered," reported a nervous technician. "Their propulsion and shielding systems don't match any known designs." High Administrator Vol turned to his security chief. "Activate all defensive systems. Prepare to destroy this human vessel." Outside the station, energy weapons charged and missile systems locked onto the Vengeance. The station's defenses were formidable, capable of repelling attacks from multiple warships simultaneously. On the Vengeance's bridge, Tactical Officer O reported calmly, "They're targeting our primary systems. Weapons fully charged." Commander Sue's face remained impassive. "Activate the reflection shield." The surface of the Vengeance rippled slightly as a new form of defensive energy field enveloped the ship. Chief Engineer Min had designed it based on principles no Confederation scientist had ever considered. The station fired. Brilliant beams of energy struck the Vengeance from multiple angles. Instead of damaging the ship, the energy seemed to flow across its surface, and then, impossibly, redirected back toward the station. With surgical precision, The redirected energy struck only the station's weapon emplacements, disabling them one by one without causing major structural damage. In less than 30 seconds, the station's entire defensive system went dark. Panic spread through the station's command center. How did they? High Administrator Val couldn't complete the question. Commander Su's voice came through again. We could destroy this station. We choose not to. We wish only to be heard. The Vengeance moved closer to the station, its massive form dwarfing nearby patrol ships. From compartments along its hull, smaller vessels emerged, dozens of them, each displaying the same advanced technology. These are just a few of our fleet, explained Commander Su. While you watched what we showed you on Earth, you missed what we built in secret. We have similar vessels nearing completion. The screens throughout the station changed to show images from Earth, hidden shipyards where more massive vessels were under construction. The Confederation officers watched in stunned silence. For 5 years, you took from us while ignoring our attempts at diplomacy, continued Commander Su. Now you will listen. High Administrator Val, seeing no alternative, agreed to meet with the human commander. A delegation from the Vengeance docked with the station. Commander Su walked confidently through the alien corridors, flanked by Chief Engineer Min and Security Chief Kang. Station personnel stared at the humans with new eyes, not as primitives, but as equals to be feared. In the station's Grand Council chamber, Commander Su laid out Earth's terms: immediate cessation of forced resource extraction, reparations for damage done, and recognition of Earth as a sovereign equal in galactic affairs. This is unprecedented, protested High Administrator Val. The Confederation does not negotiate with developing worlds. Perhaps it's time for new precedents, replied Commander Su. Or perhaps you'd prefer we demonstrate more of our capabilities. The Administrator's compound eyes widened slightly. That won't be necessary. As they returned to the Vengeance, Chief Engineer Min whispered to Commander Su, do you think they'll honor any agreement? Commander Su watched the stars through a viewport. They will when they understand we've only shown them a fraction of what we can do. He turned to her with a slight smile. Humanity spent 5 years appearing weak while growing strong. Now we'll spend the next 5 proving we belong among the stars. The Vengeance's engines glowed as it maintained position near the station, a constant reminder that Earth would no longer be dismissed. The Confederation's High Council gathered in their ancient chamber on the homeworld. 7 tall beings from different species sat around a circular table that had stood for 10,000 years. They had ruled the galaxy for so long that the idea of change seemed impossible. Until now. How did we miss this? Demanded Council Elder Rack, slamming his 3-fingered hand on the table. How did a supposedly primitive species develop technology that surpasses our own? The images from Earth Station played above the table, the massive Vengeance neutralizing their defenses, the shipyards hidden beneath Earth's oceans, the terms Commander Su had delivered. The Council had called this emergency session after receiving High Administrator Val's urgent report. We have analyzed all available data, said the intelligence chief, a small gray-skinned being named Toll. He looked uncomfortable as all eyes turned to him. It appears humans possess unique cognitive patterns. They make creative leaps no other species would consider. They see connections where others see only chaos. Impossible, scoffed another council member. No species develops this quickly. Actually, said Toll, our records show we have consistently underestimated them. When we first observed Earth 300 years ago, they were using primitive steam engines. When we returned 100 years later, they had developed nuclear power and basic computers. In just the last century, they achieved space travel. Their rate of innovation exceeds anything in our records. Silence fell over the chamber as the council considered this information. There is more, continued Toll. The technology in their ship incorporates principles our scientists call theoretically impossible. Their engineers somehow bypassed 3 evolutionary steps we believe necessary for advanced propulsion, and their defensive systems. Toll paused. They don't just block energy attacks, they redirect them with precision. No other species has achieved this. What are our options? Asked Elder Rack finally. Military action would be unwise, replied the military commander reluctantly. If they have more vessels like the Vengeance, and if their technology continues to advance at current rates. The implication hung in the air. For the first time in thousands of years, the Confederation faced a species they could not simply overwhelm with superior technology. 3 weeks later, a formal delegation arrived from Earth. Commander Sue led the group, accompanied by Chief Engineer Min and Director Han. They walked confidently into the council chamber where no primitive species had ever been permitted. The new treaty was signed with minimal negotiation. The Confederation would withdraw all extraction operations from Earth immediately. Reparations would be paid for resources taken. Most importantly, Earth would be recognized as a sovereign equal in galactic affairs, with a seat on the Interspecies Advisory Board. When Commander Sue returned to Earth, crowds filled the streets of every major city. The HSS Vengeance flew low over Seoul, its massive form casting a shadow, not of fear as the alien ships had done, but of pride and protection. Within months, the galactic landscape had shifted dramatically. Other worlds that had suffered under Confederation exploitation began to look toward Earth with hope. Human diplomats traveled to these planets, sharing knowledge and building alliances. Earth's approach to galactic politics emphasized cooperation rather than domination, a concept the Confederation had never considered viable. In a research center built where Extraction Site 7 once scared the land, Chief Engineer Min worked alongside scientists from 3 different worlds. They studied the unique human innovation that had created the Vengeance's systems. "Your people think differently," said Zal, a scientist from a world that had been under Confederation control for centuries. "You ask questions no one else would think to ask." "We had to," replied Min. "When you're facing a superior enemy, you can't win by playing their game. You have to change the rules." On the observation deck of the Vengeance, now orbiting Earth as a symbol of humanity's new status, Commander Sue watched his planet with Director Han. The years of secret work had taken their toll on both men, but today they stood tall, their mission accomplished. "Do you think they understand us now?" asked Director Han, looking at the stars where Confederation worlds shone. Commander Sue nodded slowly. "They're beginning to. They understand that strength isn't measured by technological advancement alone, but by determination, creativity, and the will to be free." "And what happens next?" asked Director Han. Commander Sue smiled slightly. "We do what humans have always done. We explore. We learn. We grow." He gestured to the galaxy spread before them. "But this time, we do it as equals, not as subjects." As the Vengeance turned to begin its patrol of Earth's solar system, its engines glowing with the power of human ingenuity, Earth stood tall among the stars, no longer dismissed, but respected. The galaxy would never be the same again, and a new order had begun, one where humanity's voice would finally be heard.